For a troubled downtown Omaha nightclub, the owner of Crush Lounge was scheduled to make his case today to the State Liquor Commission to keep the club's liquor license.
However, that did not happen. First Alert 6 Philip Katafamo has more on what's next for that spot and the city.
In a verbal agreement with the city of Omaha, Crush Ultra Lounge agreed to voluntarily give up its liquor license. The lounge will continue operating with its license until April 15th. After that, the establishment will no longer serve alcohol.
We're happy again for the city and the Downtown Improvement District and the old market. It's a good win for the city and taxpayers.
In February, the City Council voted 6-0 recommending revocation of the license. This isn't the first time owners have had their license questioned. Crush, previously called the Throwback Arcade Lounge, has had a history with the city. For the last 3 years, Omaha police have responded to Crush multiple times, including a shooting last September. Despite many attempts from ownership to correct past problems, Councilman Begley tells First Alert 6 sending officers there semi-regularly adds up.
I don't have the total on it, but it's a substantial amount to taxpayers. And when people are in the old market, other areas, and you're concentrating all of your manpower on this one area, it gets to be a challenge for spreading our officers thin.
Keep in mind, despite the loss of its license, Crush can still operate, but again, after April 15th, they will no longer be able to sell alcohol. Omaha Downtown Improvement District Executive Director Holly Barrett sent a quote to First Alert 6. It reads, "The Downtown Improvement District never wants to see a business close. Unfortunately, this bar has not been a good neighbor for several years, and we are looking forward to the opportunity to see something new go into that wonderful space," end quote. And while the establishment won't sell alcohol, that doesn't stop Crush owners from seeking a new venture and license somewhere else.
But have to go through that stringent process of the application for liquor license, and also they have the challenges of what's on their record now that would be taken into account by the Liquor Commission if they apply somewhere else.
Reporting in downtown Omaha, I'm Philip Katafamo, First